I'm also the CEO and co-founder of Futureplay Games, and I want to talk to you about the next $100 billion market. We coined the term beauty play, and that's what we believe in. We started with a simple question. We kind of asked ourselves that, what if the world isn't finished yet? What if the world keeps on evolving? What if humans, as a species, we don't actually notice change, we only notice differences once they've already happened? And you notice this when you're looking at your kids growing up. You don't actually notice when they actually grow up. But when you look at other people's kids or distant relatives look at yours, oh, how much you've grown up. You're so big now. Same thing when you kind of think of markets or think of monetization models. You think of mobile. Oh, you can't make money on mobile games. That's what people said 10 years ago. Oh, you can't make money on free games. That's what people said 5 years ago. Oh, you can't make money on ads in games. That's what people said still a couple of days ago. But what if the world keeps on changing? So we started with a simple premise for a startup, thinking about pretty much a year ago here at Slush, that which number is bigger? The disposable household income to be spent on games or in-application purchases by individuals globally, or all the ad budgets and all the dollars of all the companies in the world globally to be spent on mobile advertising? Well, the answer is actually quite simple. When you look at the big graph over there, the largest graph, the largest number, $100 billion in 2016, that's the global mobile advertising budgets combined. When you look at the tiny numbers there at the front, you got a couple of billion here and there for mobile video and mobile games in the US at the same time. So that was the answer to our question where we thought that where we're going to focus next. And this wasn't just based on this simple answer, of course. We've had a history of seeing how successfully you can actually integrate ads in our previous companies where we had successes where we've seen that you can actually make even more money on a rewarded video and well-integrated ads that you can actually do within application purchases. And this is another graph. These are all e-marketer numbers. You can Google these later. The change has already happened. It's not just change that's already in progress. It's already happened. This year or last year in US mobile video ads are larger than mobile IAP based on e-marketers' estimations. And they're actually growing faster than mobile games or mobile in-application purchases in the US. And they're actually growing faster than any part of the ads industry in mobile or any other platform. So that's actually a market that people should tackle, right? At the same time, as an interlude, I don't know if you saw yet today already, but one of the ad providers, big ad providers of mobile, AppLovin, announced that they're launching an SDK for tvOS. This is something that we've been also waiting for, that once tvOS gets out there in the market, gets a lot of install base, how much of that $70 billion US TV ad market is actually going to flow into tvOS and in-game and in-app advertising for developers to tackle? That's going to be an interesting development also as well. So what's the opportunity here? It sounds like they're big numbers, but how can you actually turn that into something that you can use in your games? On average, if you quote different sources, it's about 3% of players that monetize through in-application purchases in games. But at the same time, what we believe in is that you can actually monetize the other 97% through Futureplay by being clever about that. But how do you do it? How do you do it in a way that you don't aggravate the players? You entertain them. How do you do it in a way that it works for the advertisers, works for the ad networks, works for the platforms, works for you as a developer and publisher, and you can keep on doing it? So what we set out to do is to focus on it. If you want to actually achieve something and be good at something, it makes sense to set your mind at it and keep at it. So that's what we focused on. And we started thinking, okay, what should a game look like? And what kind of a game would be best for this Futureplay model if that was at the core of the monetization? So it's not an afterthought. It's not something we slap in there as the last thing like a lot of developers have done over the years. It's not a nuisance. It's not a necessary evil. It's something that, what if there was no IAP? How do we make the game work from a financial point of view, sessioning point of view, and players' kind of game flow point of view inside every session, etc.? So we started to look what we learned about the different integrations over the years and what is out there in the market. And pretty much everybody's doing ads the wrong way right now. Everybody's doing ads in a negative reinforcement moment. You've just lost, you missed, you don't have something, you failed, you can't get somewhere. You're in a position where you feel bad, you feel negative. The game is kicking your ass. And at the same time, hey, player, you suck. Here's an ad, and we'll help you get through it. That's not a positive moment, not positive reinforcement to get a good rap on ads and get people to like them and think about them as a viable option and opportunity to actually get forward in the game. So that's why we focused on positive reinforcement. How can we do it in a way when you're already doing good, you're doing well, or you're succeeding, or you're winning, or you're getting ahead? How can we make that even better, faster, double it, triple it, half the time, make it even more fun? And positively reinforce the gameplay experience and the experience that the players get from viewing the ads within the games as well. So these are the kind of three key things how we believe you should do it. We think that it needs to be kind of naturally fitting to the theme, and the integration points need to be naturally fitting to the flow. It doesn't mean that everything needs to be super immersed into the game world in terms of where you see the video. It can still be full screen video that takes you away from the game and shows you as full screen the ad, whether it's for another game or a brand, that doesn't matter. But the moment in the game and the position in the game world where you actually access that ad, it needs to work for the player in a natural way. You actually want to do it, or you need it, or you feel good about it, or you like, or you're craving to do it. You actually want to see the ads. You can't wait to actually use them. And the second most important thing is that it needs to be opt-in. You can't force it on the players. You can't do interstitials, you can't do forced video, you can't put roadblocks or mountains to climb or anything like that where you have to watch an ad or you don't get forward. It needs to be opt-in. You need to do it voluntarily because that's how you feel good about things. We don't feel good when we have to do things. We feel good when we can do things or we want to do things. So you have to keep it in that positive angle. And one of the big things that unfortunately don't have time to go deeper into, but what we've seen already is that it needs to be additive. What I mean by that is that don't treat your video ads and the rewards that you give as just a substitution for the in-application purchases. That's going to kill you. If you just make people watch videos to get hard currency and think that you're going to make money that way, I don't think it's ever going to work. You need to find the different kind of core loops, how they additively add to each other. Watching videos takes you forward in the game, makes things better, makes things easier, makes things more fun. And at the same time, being social or grinding it out or getting lucky or spending money takes you forward in different parts of the game layer so that they're not either or. You actually want to do both if you really want to go forward in the game in a super fast way. So it can look like this. And this is our game, Farm Away, that we launched last Thursday globally. What do we do there in terms of how is it natural, how is it opt-in, how is it additive? We're on a farm. There's rain clouds. If you want to double your rewards, what you gather from the farm, you just click on the rain cloud and watch an ad, and for 4 hours, everything's doubled up. It's opt-in, it's natural, it's additive to the gameplay on the core loop and on how you progress in the game. Same thing with the sun. Rather than making a negative boss fight where somebody kicks your ass for 20 seconds, we turn that into a positive spin where for 20 seconds you get double rewards for everything you collect when the sun is shining. And we got other integrations here and there where you can get to the New Game Plus, the Prestige mode, and harvest all your farm and start again at a higher new normal by watching an ad to enable the tractor or pay your friends. Or once you get back the next day, this being an idle game, there's a bazillion coins waiting for you next day. When you come back in the morning, hey, daily double, you want to match an ad and get double your rewards? Who wouldn't? And that's what we're seeing. So if the game looks like this and the ad integrations are natural, additive, and opt-in, how can it look like? Well, we launched last Thursday, and these are the early numbers. That's our DAU, and we got to about 90,000, now about 100,000 DAU maybe today. And what we've seen is that on a global sense, we're averaging about 8 to 9 cents ARPU. This is a game stage, so I'm actually using actual numbers. Global 8, 9 cents ARPU on a casual game is actually pretty good. And in the US, we're almost double that. So pretty sweet for a company who focuses on ads. A lot of people have been saying that maybe you can get a 1 cent ARPU globally per DAU through ads. Well, we're actually seeing that we're monetizing better than a lot of the other games are monetizing through IAP in this genre or these types of games. And the good thing about this is that we got a 4.7 rating average. And I've never, ever in my life, in the past 15 years that I've been in games, seen reviews that are so positive like this. It's amazing. So clearly something is actually working. It's early numbers, but we're happy about it. So maybe you should give it a thought as well. So Replay the Future and Futureplay, the name for us as well. What we're kind of thinking here is that there's always these shifts and changes in the market that people don't actually realize before they've actually happened. And we think that the next transition has already started. And we think the next transition is from free-to-play to view-to-play. yes, there's still free-to-play games, but you focus on the view-to-play, and that's how you get to the next $100 billion. And eMarketer, VentureBeat, et cetera, and others are estimating that the mobile video ads market will be a $100 billion market next year. We want to be the market leader in that market. So I thank you, and I wish you a great Slush, and please download our game.